happy January. I am making what I hope to be a short video, but I bet it's not going to be, showing you all of my WIPs. I have enjoyed watching podcasts lately where everybody's kind of showing sort of their state of the union, their status in January, and I have quite a bit. It's not as many as I've seen other people, but anyway, I thought maybe it would be kind of good for me and maybe interesting for you to see what I have, because I have way more than I've ever shown on the podcast. I'm not going to go into super deep detail because hopefully I will be showing them in the future on a podcast, because I will be working on them and I'll tell you all of those details. But first I have to show you how I store my WIPs, because it's maybe a little unique. In my finished basement, I have what I call my yarn room. It's not really a room. It's just a space in my basement, kind of like a little bump out area where I have cubby shelves of yarn. So that's where all of my yarn and supplies are stored. But then I keep all my WIPs in my bedroom, which is not the best place. But I guess I think like, oh, if I'm gonna work on it, it'll be right there. But then they end up just piling up. So they're all hiding behind my bed pillows. So these are like the decorative pillows that I feel like everybody has, but I don't put them on my bed every day. I do make my bed every day, but I don't put the decorative pillows. So they're all hiding behind here. So I'm gonna pull my decorative pillows out. Oh gosh. A student made me this. Actually, his mom made me that. And there they are. They're all stacked up right here. So I'm not going through them in any rhyme or reason. I'm just pulling what's there and telling you about them and telling you my plans, whether it's going to get a big focus for 2025 or if it's just going to keep whipping out in here and behind the pillows. So this is the first one. Like I said, I'm just grabbing them as they come. And this is the Hue Shift blanket. This will be the second one that I'm making, and I chose my own colors. So this is one strip of it. The Hue Shift was really popular, maybe it still is. It was a pattern on Knit Picks, and you make 100 mitered squares. You do 25, you do quadrants of 25, and then you sew the quadrants together and knit a border. So this is one of the quadrants. I actually have 2 quadrants completely done. So what is that? I have 56 squares done. Like, that's pretty good out of 100. So I'm using Brava Sport from Knit Picks. The other 2 quadrants are not in here. They're on the chair that's across from me that also holds lots of knitting related items. So that is definitely going to be a focus this year. I would love to finish that one. It's just going to be like a fun surprise because I don't know what's in all of these. Oh, this is Geo Gradient. That was the knit along from Stephen West. This one was the 2023. This is how far I am. I think I'm in clue 2 out of 4. Yeah, because there's a clue a week, so it's 4 clues. Yeah, this is the second clue. This eyelet part, so then I gotta do the other side in the eyelet part. Still love it, still think it's beautiful, still want to finish it. Will it be a focus for 2025? Probably not. I think there's some other things I'd rather focus on, but who knows, maybe I'll surprise myself. All right, okay, this one I do know because this one's fairly recent. This is my Telly Bee Knits Christmas cowl. I showed it on the December podcast and haven't done anything with it since then. Will I finish it this year? Hopefully so. I would like to actually wear it during its appropriate holiday, so I might work on that in the summer so it's ready for the fall. Well, I don't even know what's in here, but isn't this bag cute? All right, let's see. Okay, this is a 2B project, so it's not a WIP. It's not a WIP, it's just getting ready to be a WIP. And this is It is going to be a shawl. The name is escaping me. Sarah wore it a couple of podcasts ago. We have the exact same yarn. It was a shop sample and we both loved it. It's Mad Tosh. So like everything's caked up, ready to go. So that's not a WIP. That's just a adorable project bag being taken up by yarn. All right, okay, this is, again, not a WIP. This is just yarn waiting for Christmas, because this is what I use for my little sweater ornaments that I made this year and last year. So again, another cute bag being taken up by yarn. Okay, oh, this one's super cute. Little bee gnomes. I love gnomes. This is a crochet granny square. It's just a gigantic square. Let's see. This is the right side. So I am a novice crocheter, and I took a little very mini workshop. Mini as in tiny, not mini as in a lot. A mini workshop on how to make a granny square. So I just am going around and around and around and around. And I had one of those Karen cakes and I didn't know what to do with it. And I am guilty that I never made my second child a baby blanket. He had plenty of blankets made by other people. I just never made him one. I made him lots of other things, just not a blanket. So I thought maybe he might like that. So I'm on my second one because of course I ran out of the first one. So I had to buy another one. So that was dumb because then I'm just adding to the stash instead of getting rid of. And then I thought I could make like a nice thick border with this stash Karen Simply Soft yarn that somehow I acquired. So that probably won't be a focus, but it's kind of fun to get it out and work on it. I do enjoy crochet. I'm just not super adept at it. Like I'm not super knowledgeable. I'm learning. I've just been knitting for so long. Okay. All right. This is a dishcloth. This is one with the naughty word on it. I already made a red one, so now I'm making a blue one. And yeah, I will get that done. Probably make some more. I have some requests of people that would also like the naughty word dishcloth. And this is my firstie hat bag. So I'm kind of on pause with the firstie hats for now. I will start making some more this month because I like to do a little bit every month so that by the time school starts, I'm good to go. So there is no active WIP in this bag. It's just got some balls of yarn that, like, this is enough to make one hat. So I just kind of put the partial ones in there so that I'm ready to go when I'm ready to pick it up, which will be soon. All right, this, I'm not counting. Are you counting? This is also a crochet project. So this is one of the squares for the Moroccan tile blanket, which was a kit. So this is what it looks like. Ooh, a low battery. So hopefully that didn't cut out too much. This is what it looks like. So I am on, what am I on? Kit 4. Well, that sounds terrible. But here's kind of a better picture of what it looks like. So I have that whole big center done, and now I'm working on these squares on the outside. So like that's one of the ones that I'm on. So this actually will be a focus. Will I finish it in 2025? Probably not. And that is because, like I said, crochet is not my main thing. I'm not super talented at crochet, and I have to watch the video. So Lena Skabagerson does these videos that go along with the kit, and she's so good, and it just helps me to watch. So it just means that I need to be in a place where I can watch a video without being interrupted, and that I usually kind of wait for summer for that. So we'll see. All right, this has 2 project bags. This is my bag of DK yarns from Pineapple Yarn, and those are all going with this DK tonal bubblegum from Pineapple Yarn. to make the sea glass pullover by, is it Woolen Pine, I think? So you just alternate one by one color work with, well, you can do it lots of ways. I'm choosing to do a tonal with a variegated. So I'm past the separation for sleeves and, you know, moving along. Will this be a focus? I don't know. It's not on my goal list, but we'll see. I would like to have it done. That would be great because it looks super pretty, and I think it would be obviously nice to wear it. So let's see. Next, another strawberry shortcake bag. This is a WIP. This is the boho triangle shawl. I don't remember the designer. I think I have the paper in here. Boho Chic Fiber Co. So it looks like I'm in the middle of a row, and there's stitches coming off, so that's great. There's just a bunch of different stitch patterns that you put together to make this shawl, and this is where I'm at. I'm fairly close to getting done with that. So that would be pretty awesome. That could be a focus. I did focus a lot on it this summer and made some good progress, but I don't know. It's not on my goal list, but that doesn't mean it's not going to see the light of day. All right. Oh. Okay. This one I don't think is a WIP. I think it is a future situation. Yes. This is a bunch of minis and a full skein to make a bandana cowl by Telly Bean Knit, Stephanie Lotman, and I don't remember what it's called. Sarah has made it before and she has worn it on the podcast, and so that is one that I would like to make. Is it going to be this year? I don't know. This gigantic bag is, I love the tote bag. It's so cute, and I would like to have the bag back to do something else. But the reason it's in here is because it was a Halloween themed bag from 31, which I don't think is in business anymore. And it was for the 2022 Stephen West MCAL, which is always in October. So that's why it's in this October bag. And this is all I have. If any of you ever made the 2021, this one was Twists and Turns. Yeah, Twists and Turns. Clue 1 was a killer. Like I worked on this forever. Like I could have done this for all of October. I don't know how he thought people were gonna get this done in a week. I'm still not done with it. It's crazy. So that one is not a focus. I would like to finish it. It's not getting frogged. I just am not probably gonna focus on it in 2025. All right, we're getting there. There's not a ton left. Okay, this was some crazy concoction that I made. I haven't touched it. It's just in this cute little Vera Bradley tote bag. I have not touched it in literally years, but I decided to make my own hue shift using self-striping yarn. So they're mitered squares, and it's Knit Picks Felici, and I'm just using 2 different Felicis and alternating them, like 2 rows each, and just whatever comes out, which I like, except there's one that I didn't love. This one had the 2 reds. They both have red in them, and the reds like collided here. I don't know. I don't love it. It's gonna have kind of a scrappy look to it. It's super soft. I will keep going with it because I think it'll be super cozy to snuggle up with. I only have 4 squares though. And again, I don't know how many I'm gonna make. It's just gonna be kind of a do it as I go. And I don't know that I'm gonna do it in quadrants. It would be a little harder to control the size if I stick with quadrants. Whereas if I'm just adding as I go, I can do it as wide as I want and as tall as I want. They're all squares, so I mean, I guess it would kind of end up like a square if I make them all I don't know, but I can make it rectangular because if I'm adding as I go, I can do as many as I want on the bottom and then as many tall as I want. So I will keep going with that. It is not a focus for 2025, but who knows? Maybe I'll feel inspired. But I can tell it's been a while since I worked on this because there are things from Chick-fil-A, like kids meals in here. My kids have not gotten a Chick-fil-A kids meal in years because they're gigantic and they would not be happy with a kids meal. This is Shawlography, the MCal from 2021, and this one is for sure a focus. I have not worked on it since I've shown it on the podcast. I'm on the very last clue, the stripes. It is definitely getting done this year. I am excited to do that, and the cool part is the stripes. Once you do the stripes, you're done. There isn't another border. You don't have to cast off. It's just done. So I'm excited to do that and get everything woven in and blocked. So that for sure is a 2025 focus and finish. This one I think is just holding yarn. Cute. Nope. This was a cowl that I designed and it is almost done. I ran out of yarn, so I have to like think back and rethink how I want to end it. So I'm actually not going to show it because it's one that I probably will write up, and it's almost done but not quite, so I'm not going to show that one, but it's a cowl. I like designing cowls because I'm not a designer, and cowls don't require tons of shaping, and they're just fun, and I just love to wear a cowl, and anybody can wear it and it fits everybody, and you can very often get away with using one skein of yarn, so that's why I like to design cowls. This is a mystery. What is in here? I don't know. Oh, it's my zigzag scarf. Okay, for sure this is getting done. It is so close to being finished. It's actually pathetic how close it is. Okay, look at this. This is ridiculous. But with holiday knitting, gift knitting, it just got put away and kind of ignored for the last few months. So that for sure is a 2025 finish. I don't know what's in here. Oh, my Halloween Telly Bean MCal. Haven't done anything with it since I showed it on the podcast. Will it get finished? I really hope so, because again, I would like to wear it at its appropriate holiday. So thinking summertime would be a good time to focus on that. And it's not super big and heavy, so that'd be easy to pull out when it's hot out. Isn't that pretty? This is from Cottontail Farm. It's a Harrisville tweed fabric, and I love it. And I really want to use it for something else, so whatever's in here needs to get out of it. Oh yeah, this is not a WIP. This is just holding yarn. It is my frogged Tin Can Knits love note, my frogged love note. So it's just hanging out in here with the needles. Yeah. So yeah, I would really like to make that because I would really like to have it to wear. I don't think I put it on my focus for 2025. I don't do a make 9. A lot of people do. It's not to say I'm not making goals. I absolutely am. I don't know. There's something a little off-putting with the make 9 for me. It feels rigid. And again, no, there's no knitting police or making police. It's just, for me, I don't know. And also it feels very bandwagon-y, and I'm not a bandwagon person. And I'm not insulting anybody. I don't mean to insult anybody that's doing make 9. If that's how you like to focus your thinking and that helps you get organized and focus on what you want to accomplish in the year, more power to you. I definitely have goals written down of things I want to finish. I don't want to have a wall of WIPs. hiding behind my pillows. And there is a little bit of shame, and I'm struggling with that because literally no one cares. No one cares. My husband doesn't care. My kids don't care. It's me putting that shame on myself, which I shouldn't. None of us should be shaming ourselves. So I'm telling this for my own self. We are in charge of ourselves. We are in charge of our own making. We are in charge of our knitting. If I want to build a wall of WIPs up to my window, I can. I'm not going to. But we should not be feeling shame. Our crafting should not bring us shame. And I'm telling myself this as much as I am sharing it with anybody else. I would like to have a better organization system than stacking them up behind my pillows. They really should go down to the basement where the yarn is, but I don't know, I feel like when they're here, they're a little bit more in my thought than just down in the basement where they might get forgotten. So that's where I am with that. Adorable. This is a Mary Poppins bag from Knit for Brains. And this one is the only one that may have potential frog factor happen. This is a sweater that I started for my daughter. And of course, kids are fickle and they're like, yeah, I'm totally gonna wear it, make it for me. It comes from this book, Essential Outerwear by Quail Studio, and which is, I don't know if it's part of Rowan or they partner with each other. I'm not quite sure, but I love the designs in here. They're all very soft. And the one that she wanted me to make her is a jacket. Let me see if I can find it. Yeah, it's called the Demi jacket, which is super cute, but I don't really believe that she's gonna wear it. So do I wanna spend that much time making something that she's really probably not gonna wear? There's this awesome like fuzzy yarn here. And then there is a DK that you hold double, and the fuzzy yarn you hold triple, which is a little, I don't know, a little annoying. This is as far as I've gotten. I did the ribbing for the bottom, and then I've started the jacket shaping. And then I had to put in a zipper, and I just don't think she's gonna wear it. I feel like I could probably do something else with the yarn. And believe me, the yarn was not cheap. It's all Rowan yarn. And that's where I'm at with that. And I bet if I frogged it and never mentioned it again, she would not even know. She would not even pay attention. And the size that I chose, I don't know that it's even gonna fit her because she's, well, she maybe is done growing now, but she wasn't done growing then. So who knows? All right. This is a mystery. I don't remember. Oh yeah. So this is also not a WIP. This is a future would like to make. So I had made my dad's socks out of this yarn, and I obviously have a good amount left, and I would love to make myself some. So everything is just in here waiting. The needles, everything is just in there waiting for when I feel like making them. So not a WIP. Cute bag though. That's being held hostage. Another strawberry shortcake bag with rainbow braid. And I do not know what's in here. There's only one more though. Besides like my active WIPs. Those are not over here. Okay, not a WIP. This is a dream project. This is the Diggory Tee by Knitty McPurley. Oops. So it's just a cute short sleeve tee. And so Devin Ventry of Knitty McPurley. And the yarn that I've intended for it is the Fiberco Amble. This looks like crap because it was a cowl that I frogged, and so yeah, that's the frogged, and then this is the pretty cake. And I think I'm also going to use some Stephen West bicycle yarn that I used for another shawl, and I'm going to stripe it, I think. Oh, and these are still in here from the cowl. Those should come out and get let's pull those out right now and put in my needle storage, which I should show some other time, because I do think that my needle storage really works well for me. So sometimes I know people are looking for ways to organize that, so that could be a topic for another day. So yeah, that is a dream project. It doesn't count as a WIP. And last of WIPs that are not currently like active, there are still other WIPs that are around that I will show on the podcast. This is the vest, and I have not worked on this any further since the last time I showed it. So this is the Everybody's vest, and I'm using some yarn, Lucky Tweed. And this for sure is a focus. This will get finished hopefully in 2025. My current active WIPs are a sweater, which you've never seen because that was hibernating in its pillow hibernation zone. But I got it back out because it is for my husband and I would like him to wear it to the Irish Heritage Dinner that he goes to every year. And I'm really close, so I'll talk more about that on the podcast. And then what else am I working on? The 2 cowls that we showed in our like very little brief weekend update, and the Taffy Wave shawl is my like mindless sit and wait shawl or knitting. And I think that's it of the things that I'm like grabbing actively when I am choosing something to knit. So those are all the things that are just hiding behind my wall of pillows. And I actually would love to get some shelves for like right along this wall, like some little cubbies, and that's where I'll like put them so they're not hiding behind the wall of pillows. That would be ideal. I think that covers it. That wasn't too terrible. That was relatively painless. It's 27 minutes. Sarah is going to do hers as well, and then we'll merge them, or maybe we'll do them separately, especially since this is almost 30 minutes. We'll see. But anyway, I would love to know what you have languishing. What are some of your goals? What is going to see the light of day this year? What's still going to hang out in your project bags? And that's okay, because everything has its season. Also, one of my goals is stash dive in 25. So obviously I cannot stash dive if I'm only working on WIPs. That is counterproductive. So clearly there will be more cast-ons, new projects. There's so much yarn. I have so much beautiful yarn that I just want to use. And I can't do that if I'm only working on past WIPs. So there will definitely be new things coming, new exciting cast-ons with amazing yarn. The purchasing will be very limited, I hope. But yeah, I'm excited to use the yarn that I have. I have a lot of amazing, amazing, amazing yarn, and I want to use it. So that is it for me. I hope you all are doing well, and we'll see you on the next episode. Bye.
Hi everyone, it is time for my WIP parade. So Megan showed you the interesting way she stores her WIPs. I am not that exciting. My WIPs are all on my shelf here, and then I grab what I need and start working from there. So I have a few that I've grabbed already. So the first one here is actually, so it's in this great bag. It is one that is headed to the frog pond. This is a Hermione's Everyday Sock that I had started. I don't like the thickness of the sock. I misread the yarn label. This is actually a DK weight, and I was using it on a fingering weight pattern. So it's just super, super bulky and not what I wanted. So this one I'm actually going to set aside so that I can head off to the frog pond and rip that one out. Another project that I have I am making a garland of mini beanies using up some of my extra super bulky, and I'm going to go into these on the next podcast episode. But I have 5 of those that I'm working on, and I want a total of 12, so we're working on those. In this amazing bag from the national parks, I have the black and white mittens that I talked about on the last podcast episode that I am hoping to make a couple of changes to and get those into a finished object bag instead of my WIP pile. I have the Molly cowl, which we talked about in our short little snippet from the Wisconsin Dells area. I had several inches of this done, and then I ripped it all out because the yarn color that I was doing as the accent color was just, there was long sections that were the same color brown here, so it just was very muddled and you couldn't see the pattern. So that got ripped out and is waiting to be restarted because I have been giving all of my attention to this lovely WIP that I have started. This is it's by Erin Gates, and I will talk about it in the next podcast episode as well. But I am continuing the quest with color work, and it is just this delightful Valentine's Day beanie with Malabrigo worsted, which is absolutely delightful to work with. So that is my Valentine's Day WIP that I am working on. I also have here in this bag, interesting, I have a bunch of yarn, and it's the beginning of the Geo Gradient knit along by Stephen West that I had started. Need to rip it out, have not gotten very far on that, need to rip it out so that I can restart it. And that is all in Mad Tosh. So, I don't know that this is gonna see much work in 2025. I kind of forgot about it, and I love my yarn colors, so that might get pulled out of the hibernation pile and put into my WIP pile. I have this delightful little rainbow bright bag here, and in this bag I have just some yarn waiting for a project. This is going to be another baby hat for one of my sister's friends, so I need to get started on that because the baby's coming in about a month. In this bag I have all of the wool from my super bulky wool that I am using to make those hats. So this is my next 7 hats in there, all in yarn balls, ready to go. In this big bag, this is where my fade sweater project lives. And so I have that in here. I've talked about this in the last 2 episodes. Just a fade that I am working on. This is one of my goals for 2025. I'd really like to get it done in the next few weeks. So that is going to get pulled out and really worked on with some pretty serious intention. This is one of my 2025 goals, is to finish that sweater, because I do have a couple more sweaters that I want to start, and some shawls, and I have a lot of yarn to use up, and use in projects, so I want to continue to work on that. Let's see, up next, it's another Knit for Brains design bag, and in here is a Contrast Blast sock. This was the Stephen West Mystery Sock knit along from last summer, 2 summers ago. So I have one done, and I am working on the other, and once I get a sock done, I tend to take it out of the bag and work separately to keep myself from falling victim to second sock syndrome, because I am guilty of that. This is another Knit for Brains bag. Nice blues, and in here is the same but different cowl that was started when we were up in the Dells as well, so I will continue to work on that. That just got slipped to the back for the Valentine's Day project. I have, in this bag here is the second contrast blast sock. So I am working my way through the stair steps. And so that is what I am working on in that one. So this is definitely a 2025 priority WIP. So that will get rotated to the front. I have in this bag, I have, yarn and needles set aside for the beginning of a project. This is some hedgehog fibers that I cannot wait to start this project. This is the project that is going to cycle into the rotation when I finish the fade sweater. All right, we're gonna keep going with lots more WIPs. Here we go. I have this bag, and in here I have a pink yarn and a bunch of minis, and I tried to be smart, label the project. This is the owl cowl with a 16-inch size 3 needle, and so it looks like I have finished the ribbing and I am in the first section of that. So this is one that I haven't really worked on very much, obviously. Megan has this one finished, and it's beautiful. So I might pull this one out. I haven't worked on it in probably 3 or 4 years at this point. So that needs to see the light of day. In this bag, I have the Trunk Island tank. This is using a Knit Picks Shine. Megan has completed this project. I have not yet, but it is supposed to be a tank top, and it is knit from the bottom up, and I just kind of got tired of working on it. I did not get very far, but it just goes around and around and around, and this is one that I might pull out and work on, but it's not really lighting a fire to see it again. I'm like, ooh, that's what I really want to work on. So I don't know when I'll pull that one back out. So let's keep going. Here we go. I have my Lisa Frank 90s Girl at Heart, 80s Girl at Heart bag. And in here I have the Pomona cowl, which is getting frogged. It just hasn't made it to the frog pond completely yet. I am gonna make this pattern. I just got really frustrated with it, and then I found that I had twisted it when I joined it in the round. So it's not, I don't know, it's another one where, yeah, I want to finish it, but it's not, even seeing it now, I'm not compelled to be like, oh, I need to rotate that one to the front. I'd rather work on the Geo Gradient, I think, than this one when it comes to that. In this bag, this big old tote bag here, I have the beginning of a sweater. This is the Gossamer sweater. This is made with the baby alpaca. I'm still working on the neck and the yoke, getting ready to split for the sleeves. So Megan showed her version of this sweater on the last podcast. Holding this in my hands and knowing that in Northern Illinois, at the beginning of next week, it's going to be about a negative 25 wind chill. I'm really feeling that this one might get pulled out to see the light of day. I just love the alpaca and how soft and squishy and lovely it is. So yeah, I think I need to pull that one out and work on that. I have here this cute little bag. I have my, Megan showed this one. This is the boho cowl, or the boho shawl. This is one that we've been working on. Megan is much farther than I am. So I am, it looks like I popped a stitch off the needle. Let's get that back on, because that is a cast on edge. And so this is a shawl that I just think is beautiful. It has such different textured stitches. The yarn I'm using, I don't love. It is very, very thin fingering weight yarn. So I'm not sure even how big this cowl is, because this shawl is going to get because I don't have that much. I think I only have another couple of sections to go. So I don't know. This is one I really want to work on. I also want to, oh gosh, there's a whole problem going on here. I want to switch. Part of the reason that it's been hibernating is I have switched my needles from wooden needles to, I really do like to do the metal needles now, and so I need to switch my needles over. And I don't know. Oh, I am prepared to make that switch because in this bag I have 2 sets of needles ready to go. So yes, as soon as I just need to get going on this. I might cycle this one out into the 2025 priority. I really do like it. I think it'll be a nice finished project. In my next bag here, I have my shawlography. This is one that is a priority for 2025. Mine is neon, bright neon colors. So I am at the point where I am doing the mesh knitting, and so I just need to work on that so that I can continue to work on that. So that is a priority WIP for me for 2025. I need to pull that one back out to the surface when I have some of these other smaller ones done. In this bag, I believe this is just, yeah, this is my yarn storage for shawlography because there was so much yarn with it, it wouldn't fit in one bag. I didn't have a big enough bag at the time. So that is what's in this one. In this bag, I have just some random super bulkies, hats that it looks like I'd started, and I had the ribbing and then I ripped them out. But I think my thought process was that I don't need to redo the ribbing on these. I can just change the pattern. And so this bag is full of some super bulky yarn and my DPNs that I've been looking for. So that is full of yarn and projects that I was trying to save to do something with. And my last bag that I have is right here. This is my last project bag. And in here, I have a bunch of minis for a project that I was going to do, the Adventuresome shawl that Megan was wearing a couple episodes ago. When we were up at the Wisconsin Sheep and Wool Festival, I got a bunch of gradient yarn to go ahead and try that with. So this was fun to kind of see what I had forgotten I had back here. It's gonna help me prioritize my list a little bit more. So I would love to see what you're working on, what's in your WIP Parade, and I hope you join us for our next episode of Two Nerdy Girls.